Your Daikin Altherma heat pump has stopped and there is a code on the display. This is the second part of the outdoor unit codes, the ones about electronics, power supply, inverter and sensors. Explained one by one, with what the manufacturer manual says, and telling you plainly what you can check yourself and what needs a technician. One warning before we start. This is the Daikin Altherma. On other brands, and on other Daikin ranges, the same codes do not mean the same thing. If yours is a different machine, get its manual. The Altherma has 82 different codes, so we have split them up. The first part covered pressure, compressor, fan and refrigerant. You have it linked up here and in the description. This second one covers the 15 that are left from the machine outside, which are electronics, power supply and inverter. And we will say it up front, without messing you about, this batch is more of a technician's job than the first one. Most of them are electronics and sensors, and there is nothing you can check from outside. But there are 5 where you can, and they are among the most common, the ones about your house supply, and the ones about where the machine is installed. We explain those in detail, because you may save yourself a call-out. And here is something that will save you time. Most of these are not a breakdown, they are the machine protecting itself. It cuts out so it does not damage itself. That is why it often restarts and then stops again. The problem is still there. And if at any point you are not sure, call us or send us a WhatsApp on 609 09 8902 or on 656 82 7925 or by email to info@jslorca.com. We will tell you whether it is something you can check yourself or whether someone needs to come out. Quotes with no obligation. E100. OU, PCB defect. The electronic board of the outdoor unit has failed, and that board is the brain of the machine. There is nothing for you to check here, but there is something worth telling us. If there was a storm, a power cut or a dip just before, say so, because boards very often go that way. And one thing from our side, the board is expensive, so we make sure it really is the board before replacing it. We do not swap parts and hope. E8-00. OU, power input over voltage. The unit is getting more voltage than it can take. This one is partly yours, because the problem is in the house supply, not inside the machine. Notice whether it happens at the same time as something else resetting, whether you have solar panels, or whether it is always at the same time of day. If it keeps happening, the electrical installation needs measuring, and we do that too. We are registered electrical installers, not only refrigeration. H0-00. OU, voltage current sensor problem. The sensor that measures voltage and current inside the machine has failed. It is not that power is missing, the machine does not trust its own reading. Our job. It is measured with a clamp meter and compared against what the machine reports. U2-00. OU, defect of power supply voltage. The voltage reaching the machine is not what it should be, low, unstable or badly balanced. What you can check, and it is quick, whether a breaker or the RCD in your consumer unit has tripped, and whether you notice the lights dip when something big starts up. It also shows up when the cable feeding the machine is too thin for the distance it runs. That part gets measured. L5-00. OU, inverter instantaneous overcurrent, DC. The inverter, which is the electronics that drive the compressor, saw a current spike and cut out instantly so it would not burn out. Entirely ours, and one of the serious ones, it can be the inverter itself or the compressor. Do not leave it restarting over and over to see if it catches, because every attempt is another spike. And if at any point you are not sure, call us or send us a WhatsApp on 609 09 8902 or on 656 82 7925 or by email to info@jslorca.com. We will tell you whether it is something you can check yourself or whether someone needs to come out. Quotes with no obligation. L3-00. OU, electrical box temperature rise problem. The electrical box of the outdoor unit has got too hot. There is real work for you here. Check that the machine is not boxed in without air, that it is not in full sun all afternoon, and that the cover is on and properly closed. If it is in a small cupboard, a light well or behind an unventilated screen, that is the reason, and no spare part will fix it. L4-00. OU, malfunction of inverter radiating fin temperature rise. The inverter heatsink, the fins that cool that electronics, has gone over temperature. Same chapter as the previous one, a ventilated spot and shade. What you cannot see is that the heat sink fills up with dust inside. We clean that when we open it. P4-00. OU, malfunction of radiating fin temperature sensor. Nothing has overheated here. What has failed is the sensor that measures that temperature. Hours. It is a small part, and far cheaper than what it protects. H9-00. OU, malfunction of outdoor air thermistor. The sensor that tells the machine the outdoor temperature has failed. Without that reading, it works blind and uses more energy. You cannot see it from outside, it sits inside the casing. It is ours, and one of the cheap ones to put right. J3-00. OU, malfunction of discharge pipe thermistor. The sensor watching the temperature of the pipe where the hot gas leaves the compressor has failed. Hours. And be careful with this one, that sensor is exactly what protects the compressor from cooking itself, so it is not one to leave until next month. And one thing before we carry on, we make these videos ourselves and we publish them for free. We will keep making them as long as you keep liking and subscribing. It is as simple as that. If this is helping you, give it a like now and stay with us. And if the code you are getting is not in this video, put it in the comments. We will tell you what it is, and if we do not have it, we will look it up. No personal details, please. J6-00. OU, malfunction of heat exchanger thermistor. The sensor measuring the temperature of the heat exchanger has failed, and that is the big coil in the outdoor unit. Hours. With that sensor faulty, the machine does not know when to defrost, and in winter you notice it stops giving heat. J6-07. OU, malfunction of heat exchanger thermistor. This is the same heat exchanger sensor warning with a different suffix. In the Daikin guide, both carry exactly the same description. We list it separately because if your display shows J6-07 and you only find J6-00, you are left wondering. For you it means the same thing and it is fixed the same way. It is ours. LC00. Malfunction in communication system of outdoor unit. The boards inside the outdoor unit have stopped understanding each other. Hours. It is usually a connection, a cable or a board, and they get ruled out in order. If the unit is new and it has done this from day one, tell us. It changes quite a lot where we start looking. U7-00. OU, transmission malfunction between main CPU INV CPU. Another communication breakdown, like the previous one, but specifically between the main brain and the inverter one. Hours. Same route, connections first, board afterwards. UA00. Indoor unit, outdoor unit matching problem. The indoor unit and the outdoor unit do not match. The machine is saying that pair was not made to work together. This one deserves a pause. It shows up mostly when one of the two has been swapped for something that does not correspond, or when it was set up wrong at commissioning. If a unit has just been replaced and this started, it is no coincidence. Write down the references from both rating plates, the one outside and the one inside, and send them to us. With that we can tell you whether the pair is right. One last warning, and it is the most important of all: if the code comes back after a reset, it is not a warning, it is a symptom. A machine that keeps shutting itself down ends up breaking the most expensive part. Better to look at it early. And with this second part you now have all 29 outdoor unit codes of the Altherma explained. The ones for the indoor unit, the hot water tank and the water circuit will come in the next videos. At JSL we install, service and repair heat pumps across Mallorca, and we work with Daikin every day. If your unit has given you one of these codes, tell us about it and we will tell you what is wrong, with no obligation. Call us or send a WhatsApp to 609 09 8902 or 656 82 7925. By email info@jslorca.com. And at jslorca.com you have this same guide in writing, with every code, to read at your own pace. The link is in the description. And what we do not do, so there are no surprises, we do not do emergency call-outs. We work by appointment, because we would rather take the time and do the job properly. And the usual, which is what keeps this going, we make these videos ourselves, in our own time, and we publish them free and without holding anything back. We will keep making them as long as you keep liking and subscribing. If this helped, give it a like and subscribe. It takes a second and it means a lot to us. And if your code is not in this video, or you do not understand what is on your display, put it in the comments. We will tell you what it is, and if we do not have it to hand, we will look it up. No personal details. We will be releasing the rest of the Altherma codes, and after that we will do the same with the units themselves and with inverters.